today's video about Maverick, we're gonna make QuickBooks fun and easy so that even a little baby could do it. Well, maybe not that easy, but he will be here as emotional support, reminding you that you too were once a little baby who couldn't even walk. And look at you now. So everyone starts somewhere when it comes to accounting and QuickBooks, and by the end of this video, you, my friend, will be set up and ready to go with confidence. I'm Amanda Horvath, and on this channel, I help eliminate the obstacles to getting you sitting where I'm sitting right now, in front of the camera, sharing your message with the world. So if in addition to finances, you also want to learn how to market yourself online and make money doing it, then be sure to subscribe and check out the helpful resources that are linked in the description below. Oh, and this is baby Maverick. He is 6 months old and oh so adorable. By the way, this is the second video in a series of videos that is getting you up and running with your business finances. The previous video walked through the only 5 steps that you need to be able to get set up in your business finances and feel confident about it. I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years, and this series is essentially the series that I wish I had when I was first getting started. So be sure to check it out in the description below if you have not already seen that. Now, first things first, if you are just getting started on your QuickBooks journey, then I have a discount link for you in the description below that will get you 30% off your first 6 months of QuickBooks. So be sure to grab that and save yourself some money. It's also an affiliate link, so I get a small kickback whenever you do, and it's your way of paying me back for this very helpful series to get you up and running. Now, in terms of which subscription level to use when it comes to QuickBooks, it depends on your budget and your use case. Now, I use QuickBooks for both my personal and business side of things. So my household finances, dealing with this cute little baby and navigating all of that goes with it, as well as the business that is completely separate entity. For the personal, I have the lowest level of QuickBooks because I don't need it to be complicated, and I don't really mind dealing with the limitations that come with that basic model. For my business, I have the Plus account, and this is the 3rd tier option that they offer at the time of making this video. I really like that because I like having a little more professional software for my actual business. So what I suggest doing is either getting started with the basic account or the essentials account for this video. And whenever you experience the limitations of your software, you can always upgrade at that point later on. Once you're all set up, we're going to be walking through several steps to get you up and running with QuickBooks. Step 1, onboarding. When you first set up your QuickBooks account, it is going to walk you through an onboarding process where you are going to connect your bank. And following that process is a great way to get acquainted with QuickBooks and get things set up in terms of pulling transactions in from your bank or any credit cards that you have. So I highly suggest putting any of the ones that are going to be relevant for either your personal finances, if that's what you're watching this video for, or your business. So for me personally, I have a business bank account as well as a business credit card that I have connected to it. Anything like Stripe and PayPal, that will come through in a different way, so don't worry about connecting those in this area. For those of you that have already moved through the onboarding process and you're watching this video after having already done that, the way that you go and connect your bank in the minimal account, the basic account, is you're gonna go over to the side, down to bookkeeping, and then at the top it'll say bank transactions, and you can go over here and click link account in order to add a bank account or credit card here. And just in case you end up with the Plus account, I'll show you how that shows up. This is how it looks, so it's a little bit different. You're seeing the nuances. The minimal basic account kind of has some different things on the side. Now this one, you're gonna go underneath banking, and in a similar fashion, you'll go right here to click link account. Once you've got your bank account set up, you're ready for the next step. Step 2, overview. Now this video is specifically going to be designed for those that don't want to be an accountant. You don't want to know the intricacies and all the nuances that go into QuickBooks. You just want to know how to navigate it so that you know how profitable you are, what expenses are going out, and making decisions about things in the future so that you can have clarity on how to make more money. So I want to hone in on a few tabs that are going to be essential, and then everything else you can pass off to an accountant who can make sure that you're doing things right, you can ask questions to, and all of that. So since we're already logged into the business version of QuickBooks, let me show you that, and then we'll show you the basic account because they look different. So the first one that you're going to need is the banking one. And if you click here, you're going to be able to go into this where all of your categories or all of your expenses are going to come in here, and you're going to be able to categorize them. I've already completed these, so it's already done. The next one is going to be your vendors tab. And this is where you can always go in to be able to look at how much did I spend with this subcontractor that I hired? Or how much did I spend with this, like Amazon, for example? How much did I spend with Amazon this year, right? You're gonna add all of the different vendors in here as you categorize things. And so this is just a nice thing to know where it is. And you can always go in and change things from there. The next thing that you're going to want to know how to use is the reports tab. And Maverick is clearly very excited about that one. So you can have standard ones right here where you can go in, you can do the profit and loss, and there's many different ways to do it. By month is the one that I suggest. And you can also save custom reports. I won't go into that in this video just to keep it simple. But that is the one that you do need to know is reports. Now the final one is going to be your chart of accounts. And as you can see, we're skipping through a lot of different things. As someone that has been in entrepreneurship for 8 years, I don't use the rest of this. Once again, I said I have an accountant that does certain things. I just want to know the high level so that I have clarity on my business. So the chart of accounts is going to be a big one, and we're going to talk about that more in a little bit, but you need to know where it is. So now let's look at the plus account because once again, it looks different. So what I recommend doing is going down here to the bookmarks, and you're going to add right here, click this plus button, and then you can select these ones that you are going to use on repeat. So bank transactions, chart of accounts, go down to reports, and vendors. And then you can just go ahead and click save. And all of those ones that we just talked about are just going to be easily accessible here. For whatever reason, these don't make as much sense the way that you have to go in and find things. So just go ahead and add these bookmarks here. Step 3, chart of accounts. When you first get started with QuickBooks, one of the most confusing things is being able to set up what you want your profit and loss statement to look like. So let me pull up a profit and loss statement in the Plus account real quick to show you what it looks like. This is one of the things that is going to vary with the basic account compared to the Plus account. So this is the very basic account. It will have tons of different, and you're gonna see all the numbers for me, it's whatever, this is my personal numbers. You're gonna see these drop downs that are kind of annoying. You can see everything, and it's harder to glance at things and understand the high level of it. In the Plus account, it's gonna be a much cleaner version of your profit and loss, but the amount that you have to pay for a personal account, it's not worth doing it for that, so I just am okay with it. But for my business, I do like to have it be a cleaner report, so I pay for the higher level for this reason. You can see I have it broken down into personal categories that I have. These are going to look very different for my business than they would for my personal finances. So I'm going to help you set these up in these two different systems. You get to choose, what do I want it to look like breaking it down, right? We have a category for our son, and it breaks down to all the different things that go along with having him. Then we have a category for food that breaks down to groceries, restaurants, supplements, home life, like things that we're doing to improve the house, maintenance, decor, miscellaneous, right? I mean, you get to choose whatever these categories are. Health, insurance, medicine. He doesn't like that one. Neither do I. Vehicles, gas, subscriptions, play. You can see whatever I have here. So in order to do this within the basic account, it's a little bit different. So we're gonna show you that first. You're gonna go under chart of accounts, and you're gonna see all of this crap that has already been set up. The catch that they do with the basic version is that you are already capped out on the number that you have. You can't go in here and add a new category. Something about it doesn't work properly. And so what I did to kind of hack the system is I went and found ones that already had subcategories in them, and I would just change this to be what I needed it to be. So let me find the example. In fact, if we just organize by name, you can see down here the categories that I've set up. So I found one that already had those, and I'll give you an example. And you can see here, I just X'd out of different things. So let's say cost of goods sold. We're gonna go over here, we're gonna click edit, and we're gonna rename this to whatever you want it to be. And I suggest using numbers so it can be nice and organized. He wants to be part of the fun, and I understand. Here you can name it whatever you want it to be. So whatever your kid's name is, if you want to have a category for that, or your business. And I'm going to show how I do this for my business in a second. Just name that here, click save, and you can add subcategories to it if you want. Like, you know, some things you're going to say move category under this account here. And that's it. Like I said, it's not as great in the basic version, which is one of the reasons why I like having more options for the business one. But this ended up working perfectly fine for us for the household account. So just go through here and set up your categories however you want them to be. And over time, you can always go through and change those categories and update them moving forward to become more clear about what you need them to be as well. It might take a few months to get it perfect. So hopping over to the plus version of it, we're gonna go down here to accounting, chart of accounts, and here you can always go and add new categories. So you go new category and you're going to choose whatever kind it is. It's going to be an income. You can choose like where you want to save it. You can save it underneath income. The tax selection of it doesn't really matter how you want to put this down here. You could say sale of product or a service fee. We'll just say service fee. And then for the account name, this is where you can name it whatever you want it to be. So let's say you're a coach, you can say coaching, right? Which I already have one, so it's not gonna let me do it that way. And then you can always add an account number as well, which is this number at the top to organize things on your profit and loss statement. And I'll show you what mine looks like in a second so you can see that. How we doing, buddy? How we doing? All right, so I'm gonna show you my reports for my business and how the categories are different and what the report looks like so you can see what I meant about how the other version, the basic version, doesn't look as clean as the business one. So here we're looking at it, everything is nice and collapsed. I don't have to use all those little arrows to make it look nice. It's already that way. I have different categories within my business of how I make money: human design readings, coaching, online products, affiliate, ad revenue, other revenue, and then I have different categories, and these categories are probably going to work for your business as well, and you might have some in addition to it. I had a CFO that helped me set this up. She added these random numbers before that I don't really know what they mean, and I don't think they really matter. She was like, trust me, you need them. I haven't figured out why I need them. I just make random numbers to kind of go along with it. So you can have, this could be 1, this could be 2, this could be whatever. But services, this is services that are sales and marketing. This is services that are general services, general and admin. Courses and coaching, this is a category that I like to buy courses, and so I like to separate it out for myself. Travel and entertainment, marketing and advertising, costs. So this is different than me hiring a actual team to deal with the advertising, which would fall underneath services for sales and marketing. This is actual costs like Facebook ads. Then you have technology, which is where I keep all of my software, general expenses, and other general and admin things. So when I click into these individual categories, like let's go into services, you can break it down further into subcategories that would fall underneath that. And I'll show you that in just a second. So services, we've got course services, we've got social media services, I've got YouTube services, right? So that I can keep track of how much I spend in each of those individual areas within my business. So if I go back to the chart of accounts, it looks super freaking confusing in here, and I don't know why they make it so confusing, but it's okay. We're gonna get through it together. So if you organize by number, right, this is where the numbers are helpful. You can kind of do it however you want. So you're gonna set up all of your income things that come through. New, income, save this account under income, whatever kind of income that it is. We already talked about that. And then you are gonna name the account, add an account number. You can add a description if you want, but you don't need to. So I'll show you, if I edit this, what that looks like for here. And it shows you your profit and loss and where it would fall on the list of things. Then you'll go through and add your expense categories. So new, expenses, where do you want to save this underneath? Is it going to be a cost of goods sold, which is when it costs you to make a product, right? If you're hiring a subcontractor, that's going to fall underneath the cost of goods sold, or it could just fall under expenses. The majority of them are going to fall underneath that. So you can put them there unless you want it to fall underneath a specific subcategory. So you can see this gets more intense and more like detailed than the basic account. Step 4, organize expenses. Now, as I previously mentioned, if you just connected your bank account, you're not going to yet have transactions that need to be organized. But if you wait a month, you're going to have a lot more to organize. So let me show you what this looks like when you do have things to organize. So in the basics account, and this is the same pretty much in both. So we're gonna go to the bank transactions, and you're gonna see that there are several expenses here that need to be organized. So the way that we do it is we go in here, and for Amazon, which we all have Amazon ones, you're gonna need to open up your Amazon and actually see what you purchased. There will be some that you'll need to do a little bit more digging. So I like to start with the ones that are obvious, and then I can kind of eliminate ones that are obvious, categorize them, and this is the same for your personal versus your business, so there's not any confusion. So we'll go in here, and it'll say, what vendor is this? And you can add your vendor here if you don't yet have it added. So you can just type new, add new right there. And I already have it, so we'll just say HEB, and that's groceries because I've previously categorized this. It gets really smart, QuickBooks, and it makes your job easy by knowing that you've previously categorized it this way, and it's gonna suggest it that way. But you could just type in whatever it is here. So you would remember, oh, I wanna mark this as a grocery category, so I'll type in groceries and click confirm, and that gets categorized. And then you can continue moving through and doing things like, here we go, we have an EMF products that we bought to make our home EMF proof, right? And so we're gonna put that into the home category, and it's gonna fall underneath improvements for the house, and we'll click confirm. So once per month, you're gonna go through and you can categorize everything to get it into the right categories. And as you go through, if there's not a category for something that is an expense, that's when you get to go back to your chart of accounts and determine what categories you might want to add. So I highly suggest keeping the main categories fairly broad and then having more subcategories rather than having a ton of expenses that fall on your profit and loss statement to where it's really challenging to read. So the bigger the categories, the better, and then use subcategories as needed. As I previously mentioned, it may take a few months to get your categories established, but once you do, you'll be good to go, and you'll be so grateful for having this system moving forward. Step 5, review profit. So everything that you've done in QuickBooks up until this point is so that you have a pulse on what's coming in your business, what's going out in your business, and you're actually having to categorize things, and it's making you think a little bit about those items that you're categorizing. So you could take this part and you could pass it off to a accountant, like he's clearly doesn't want to do that, right? So if you don't want to do that, you could pass it off. I personally like to do it because I like to spend time knowing the things that are coming in, going out. It makes me think twice about those expenses because I'm not going to see them as clearly when I get to this step, which is reviewing the reports. So when you get to the reports, you're going to be seeing the big picture of your money story. And so I think it's good, be tapped in on the daily level, also look at the big picture. And we can hang out with mama. So you'll go into reports, and then underneath standard, when you click on that, then there'll be several different ones that they already have set up for you. So you can go ahead and find the profit and loss by month. Then I would go ahead and star that one, or just go ahead and click on it. Now, this will show you all of the months that you have, and if you want to customize it further, what you can do is you can choose the dates that you want it to show. Let's say that you get started and you only want to see from August to December of that year. Then you can go in here and you can choose a different date, choose that date, August 1st. You can make it go all the way until the end of the year through December 31st, run report. And then you can hit save customization so that you can have that easily accessible moving forward. And if you are doing this on the Plus account, you can also right up here, it will say collapse. They don't have it when it comes to the basic one, and I feel like him about that, which is annoying that they make you pay extra for that, but they do. And that's how you make it look really nice to where you don't have all of these drop downs, which is kind of annoying. That's how it works. But hey, QuickBooks is a business and we understand. So let me clear these settings and go back to my custom report so we can just quickly see the overview of it all. It is helpful to just be able to look at the end of the month, like, okay, where is our money going, right? We're looking at the personal, but we can look at the business one as well. I started it in March of 2022. I've been doing the business one for a long, long time. So you can see income that we've deposited into our joint account, which we don't like having extra. So the profit and loss in this regard isn't really accurate. I'm just mostly wanting to see how much are we spending on this cute little boy every month, right? How much have we spent total since this time? How much are we spending on food each month, right? Home decor, like health, all the things, so that we have clarity on it. It's very, very helpful. And then same with the actual business account, which let me show you very quickly how that works. So here's the business one, and this is clearly going to be a lot more useful for actually making decisions in your business and knowing how profitable you are. And you can see, once again, all the income that you have. You're going to be able to see which categories are going to bring in the most amount of money for you. Which ones should you be doubling down on, right? To have more come in. Where is your money going? What categories can you cut out, or what expenses can you cut out to reduce that? I'm always amazed at how much technology costs, right? And then you can see your net operating income for that year. And that also helps you know, like, how much do I need to pay in taxes? How much do I need to put aside, and all that. Now, I have a video that's going to be coming out in the future that will walk through what to do on a monthly basis once you have all of this set up, because there's a few more things that will happen that will help you gain clarity about everything overall. So you have reached the end of this video. You did it, my friend. You are set up on QuickBooks and you know everything that you need to know in order to get your reports set up to where you can actually trust them and you can start looking at your numbers. So if this video was helpful, please be sure to click like, drop a comment below. If the other videos in the series are out, I will link to those on the screen here for you to watch next, as well as link them in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. You did so well, Maverick.